In a land where mountains touched the clouds and rivers sparkled like diamonds, there was a very unusual place called the Whispering Kingdom. It was the quietest kingdom you could ever imagine. Nobody spoke above a whisper. Not ever. When children played, they giggled so softly you could barely hear them. When merchants sold goods at the market, they named prices in whispers like rustling leaves. When the king made announcements, people at the back had to lean way forward and cup their ears. "Why does everyone whisper?" visitors would ask. The townspeople would look around nervously, put a finger to their lips, and whisper back, "Shh, it's the rule." Speaking too loud or saying what you really think will get you sent to the silent caves. Nobody ever comes back. You see, long ago, a king decided that truth was too dangerous. He believed that if people said what they really felt, there would be arguments. So he made a law: no speaking above a whisper and no saying anything that might make others uncomfortable. The people forgot how to laugh loudly, how to sing at the top of their lungs, and worst of all, they forgot how to tell each other the truth. The sky over the Whispering Kingdom was always grey, as if even the sun couldn't be bothered to shine. One spring morning, something wonderful happened. A baby boy was born to a kind baker and her husband. They named him Leo, which meant lion, hoping he would be brave, even though they knew he would have to whisper like everyone else. But Leo was not like everyone else. The first time his mother held him and whispered, "I love you, little one," baby Leo cooed happily. And as he cooed, the most magical thing happened. A soft, warm, golden light glowed from his mouth. It was gentle and beautiful, like holding a piece of sunshine in your mouth. His mother gasped. His father nearly dropped the blanket he was holding. "Did you see that?" the mother whispered. "His voice glows," the father whispered back. They kept Leo's secret, afraid of what might happen if anyone found out. As Leo grew, they noticed something wonderful. Whenever Leo said something truly from his heart, his voice glowed golden. When he said, "I love Mama's bread best in the whole world," golden light sparkled around his words. When he said, "I'm scared of the dark," the light flickered softly like a candle. But when Leo tried to tell even a tiny lie, his voice stayed dark and plain. He couldn't pretend to like food he hated or say he felt fine when he was sad. His voice simply wouldn't glow unless he meant every single word. Leo's parents taught him to be careful. "Only let the light shine when we're alone," they whispered. "In front of others, keep your voice quiet like everyone else." This made Leo sad. He wanted to share his beautiful glowing voice with the world. But he obeyed his parents because he loved them. One day, when Leo was 7, he walked through the market with his mother. The market was the saddest place, people creeping around silently, pointing at things they wanted, never laughing or calling out to friends. Suddenly, Leo noticed a little girl sitting alone by the fountain. She was crying, but even her crying was quiet, just tiny tears rolling down her cheeks without a sound. Leo tugged his mother's sleeve. "Mama, why is that girl crying?" His mother looked and whispered, "That's Mira. Her father was taken to the silent caves last week." He spoke too loudly at the town meeting, saying the king's new tax was unfair. Now she has no one. Leo felt something burning in his chest. It was the same feeling he got when he saw a puppy being treated meanly. It was the feeling that something was terribly wrong. Before his mother could stop him, Leo walked over and sat beside Mira. "Why are you crying?" he asked softly. Mira looked up surprised. "My papa is gone," she whispered. I'm all alone." Leo felt the truth of her words like a punch in his stomach. "That's not fair," he said. And when he said it, his voice began to glow just a tiny bit, a flicker of gold around his words. Mira's eyes went wide. "Your voice is shining!" Leo quickly covered his mouth, but it was too late. Several people in the market noticed. They pointed and whispered. A guard pushed through the crowd and grabbed Leo's arm. "This boy was speaking with an unwhispered voice," the guard announced. "And it was glowing. He must come with me to the castle." Leo's mother cried out, but guards held her back. Leo was marched through the streets, past crowds of silent, frightened people, all the way to the great castle. The king sat on his throne, looking bored and grumpy. When he saw Leo, he sat up straight. "A child with a glowing voice? Impossible." "Voices don't glow." "Make him speak, Your Majesty," suggested the head guard. The king leaned forward. "Boy, say something. If you lie, your voice won't glow. If you tell the truth, it will. Either way, I'll have proof you're different, and different people go to the silent caves." Leo was terrified. His knees shook and his hands were sweaty. He thought about his mother crying in the market. He thought about Mira, all alone because her father told the truth. And then, instead of being scared, Leo got brave angry, the kind of angry that happens when you see something unfair and know you have to fix it. "Fine," Leo said. And when he spoke, his voice wasn't a whisper. It was clear and strong, and golden light poured from his mouth like liquid sunshine, filling the entire throne room. "I'll tell you the truth. This kingdom is sad. Everyone is afraid all the time. Children can't laugh. Friends can't shout hello. People can't say when something hurts their feelings. You made a law that takes away happiness, and that's not right. Mira's father only said your tax was unfair, and now she's all alone. That's not fair either." The truth is, Leo took a deep breath, and the light blazed even brighter. "The truth is, you're lonely too. You made everyone whisper because you were afraid nobody would like what you had to say. But if you just told the truth about how you feel, people might actually understand you." The throne room was completely silent. Not whisper, silent, but truly silent. Everyone stared at Leo, whose voice was still glowing softly around his smiling face. Then something amazing happened. A small maid near the back whispered, "He's right. I've worked here 20 years and never said I wanted a day off. I'm tired." A guard by the door spoke up, a little louder than a whisper. "I miss hearing my children laugh. They laugh so quietly now. I can barely tell they're happy." The cook stepped forward. "I made the king's favorite pie today, but I was afraid to say I hoped he'd like it." One by one, people in the castle began to speak, not yelling, just talking normal voices, sharing normal truths. The grey clouds outside the windows parted just a tiny bit, letting a beam of sunlight into the throne room. The king sat on his throne, and for the first time in many years, tears filled his eyes. Because Leo was right. He was lonely. He had made this rule so long ago that he'd forgotten why, but deep down, he was just scared that if people said what they really thought, they wouldn't want him to be king. Slowly, the king stood up. He opened his mouth, and in a voice just a little above a whisper, he said, "I was wrong." It wasn't loud. It wasn't fancy, but it was true. And somehow, it felt like sunshine. That very day, the king changed the great rule. People could speak at normal volumes. They could laugh and sing and even disagree, as long as they did it kindly. The king sent guards to the silent caves to bring back everyone who had been sent there. Mira's father came home, and Mira ran into his arms, shouting, "Papa!" at the top of her lungs, which made everyone laugh and cry happy tears at the same time. Leo became known as the boy with the shining voice. But really, he was just a boy who told the truth. Soon, other children discovered that when they told the truth from their hearts, their voices glowed a little too, not as brightly as Leo's maybe, but enough to see. The grey clouds over the kingdom disappeared completely, and the sun shone brightly every day. People still whispered sometimes when they told secrets or said, "I love you," in a quiet moment, but they also laughed and sang and spoke their truths out loud. As for Leo, he grew up to be a wise and beloved king. He never stopped telling the truth, and his voice never stopped glowing. Whenever someone was scared to speak their truth, Leo would remember that day in the throne room and say, "Your voice is a gift. Don't hide it." You never know, one brave sentence might change everything. The end moral: truth spoken with courage can free many.